Shalom, Yasharala. This your brother Dawada, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, I can pushing this truth and sincerity in the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So real quick, before I start off into this here lesson, Lord willing, my normal channel will be up, back up and running by now. But nevertheless, because I didn't touch on this a couple times, just real quick, I'm going to put a link in the description to get to my backup page. All right, now when you get on the backup page, I did a couple videos which will fill you in on the loop of what happened with the main page. All right, so the videos you want to take a look at is the very first video. It says channel strike, new channel is up. And then basically this here new channel up, they stood upon their feet, and pretty much in the second video, the 47-minute video, in the very beginning of this here video, like I said, you want to look at this first video down at the bottom, but then also look at this other video in the first beginnings, because in there it'll show you how to get to the other channels and things like that. Like I said in this here video here, that one of our main channels pretty much got a strike, and we weren't able to upload on that channel as well either, so we made another backup channel. But nevertheless, make sure you subscribe to those channels, and so just in case something like this happens again, you'll know where to be able to find us. All right, so like I said, I'll put the link in the description. I'll put the link in the description on how to find this here channel. All right. So we're gonna jump into this here lesson, which basically I was watching some some different videos and whatnot, and dealing with the current state of basically the earth right now, and different things. Like right now you have the how do you call it, the fires out there in Australia. All right, but nevertheless you also have bizarre weather all around, pretty much all around the world. You have bizarre weather, but nevertheless, you have all these different things that's going on throughout the earth. Not just that, but when you look at the conditions of the people and everything like that, everything is so corrupted. All right, like dealing with I was listening on the so-called the things that they was blaming on global warming or weather change or whatever, however they want to call it. And they'll tell you about, oh well, if we don't do this, if we don't do that now, this is the time now to try to reverse this or whatnot, and then in reality, there's no reversing it. Just like, with all the other plagues and pestilences going on right now, it's too late to reverse it. Just like, dealing with the coronavirus. All right. You see how far spread that's going, and they're trying to stop it, stop it from spreading and so on and so forth. And there's new information about, even if you are so-called cured or recovered from that, all right, you still have traces of it in your body. All right. Just like the Ebola virus. You still have traces of it in your body, and pretty much you can still pass it on to people, all right? But nevertheless, that's something else where it's pretty much irreversible. It's not going to so-called come back to, the normal state that it's in. So there's a lot of different things, that's all offset right now. Hey, the pollution in the earth right now, you have all this trash and debris in the ocean or whatnot, where you have trash islands the size of Texas floating around, all right? And then also you have a lot of the rivers that's tainted and things like that. Whereas, where, how do you say, dealing with like the Northern Kingdom, like Gad and all them, they're trying to protect, some of their land from having this, like certain oil pipelines ran through their, through their land, because what they said was going to happen was what? It's going to be a spill. You're going to contaminate our water, and look what wound up happening, So, when you look around the world, everything is pretty much so far gone. They've dumped so much pollution in the oceans. All right, they've covered the skies with so much chemtrails and polluted all those different things. Hell, they was talking about over there in China how, because they're going around spraying everything with disinfectant because of the I call it the Wuhan virus, but the coronavirus is over there. All right, they're just pretty much spraying disinfected on every damn thing over there. All right, but nevertheless, a lot of the so-called wildlife is dying, whether it be plants or animals. A lot of those animals and things like that are just dying off because of their so-called disinfectant. So they don't really know how to control these things, like let's just say the coronavirus. They don't know how to control or combat that or try to slow it down or anything like that. And the things that they're trying is just making things worse. They're trying to spray a disinfectant to so-called disinfect certain things, but now you're killing off all the animals and things like that, man. Killing off all the plants and things like that, all the insects, which you need that for your ecosystem to keep going on, all right? But nevertheless, in the waterways, you can't clean up the waterways, man. All right, look at the food. The food is tainted with all these GMOs and things like that. You can't reverse that, man. All right, you can't just go back to, all right, let's just go get, this original organic food before we even had GMOs. Let's just go back to that. Well, there's no more seeds left. All right, they got the seeds, but nevertheless, the things that you eating with, there's no more seeds in that, and that's been depleted so far. There's really no vitamins and nutrients in it no more, man. All right, the earth needs a complete reset. All right, the minds of these people, man. All right, it's not only are we telling you the truth all the time, there's other outlets that are telling you the truth, and how do I say, different outlets about different things. Like you can find other truth other than the truth. People out there telling you, like, in a lot of these alternative media, YouTube channels or whatever, whatnot, they're telling you, yeah, the economy is about to crash. You should be doing this. You should be doing that. This is going out the woodwork, or, everything is spiraling out of control, or, dealing with these international bankers and how all that works and things like that. So, yeah, they could be telling you truths about certain things, but, just like a lot of the brothers that then came into this here truth, like the first step that they wound up taking, the step that they wound up taking down a certain path that they went was what? Learning about the Illuminati. That's a lot of the times, a lot of brothers learn about that first. They come across that first or whatever, whatnot, on that path of seeking out knowledge. They stumble across the Illuminati. Then you start really going deep into that. You realize, like, oh shit, this thing, we so, the pit is so deep, we can't get out of the pit now. Once you really start studying and looking far into that, you realize it's like, yo, man, there's nothing we can do to combat this. They've infiltrated everything. They got control over the media, over the schools, the money, the how you say, the food, how do I say, the seeds and everything like that, man. Our infrastructure and everything. So there's no way that you can be able to so-called combat that, man. There's no kind of plan that you can come up with to try to so-called overthrow the Illuminati. They just so far deep. They've been working on this for hundreds and hundreds of years, and we so far behind to even try to wake our people up to tell them, that's like step one. We can't even do that. How much more can we try to fight these people, man? So going into all these different things, man, everything is so far gone, so far corrupted, that the Lord pretty much has to erase everything and start back over again, just like, you know what, let me start there real quick. This is the book of Genesis chapter 6. I want to say verse 10. Matter of fact, let me go to verse 5. And where's the other verse? Okay, 11. So I'm gonna start at verse Genesis 6 and 5. And the Most High saw that wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And that's, dealing with the mindset of these people, man. They so far corrupted, and all they want to do is just do wickedness continuously, man. They just look at how they treat us and how they look at us, man. We become the biggest scumbags on the earth, because why? We don't want to sleep with another man's wife. All right. We don't want to go out here and be, we don't want to have our daughters out here twerking or whatever, whatnot, walking around in these spandex bodysuits where you see in every damn thing, that just completely revealing. We don't want our women to be walking around looking like whores, put it that way. We don't want our mothers looking like that. We don't want our daughters looking like that. We don't want our women looking like that. Our sisters looking like that. Our nieces, our cousins. We don't want none of our women walking around looking like that. But what? We've become the bad guys because basically we got a righteous mind in this corrupted ass world, man. Everybody else thinks that that's okay. You talk about, a woman and the way she's dressing, she's walking around basically looking like a prostitute advertising. All right. And you say something about that, but like, she shouldn't be wearing that in public. There's kids around, little girls and whatever. There's kids around, man. She should have a little more respect for herself, Most people's response is, why you over here picking on her? Let her do what she want to do, man. She's a grown woman. She can do whatever she want to do. Like, I mean, as a human being, I technically can do whatever I want to do, but it's not very expedient for me to be walking around with a pistol and blowing off everybody's head that I come across. Now, is it? You see what I'm saying? So, like, there's really nothing stopping people from doing that besides their own morals and things like that. They know what's right and wrong. Like, you know what? I shouldn't be doing this, man. People walk in the bank. They know that they shouldn't be robbing the bank. I mean, they know that they physically can. You just walk up to the counter with a note, like, give me all the money. They'll probably give you all the money, but you might not get very far. But nevertheless, like, what's really stopping you besides yourself, man? All right. But nevertheless, people have, you have a certain moral standard or whatever, whatnot, that stops you from these things. But guess what? In this here world right now, the more folly and the more wickedness that you into, just like I was listening to this other guy, this other YouTube guy who be going into a lot of this other stuff too, dealing with it like this hip hop shit, and not really hip hop, but like, he'll take certain topics that they doing and doing it in hip hop, and they'll relate it back to the family and all these different things. And he wound up saying, forgot whatever rapper it was or whatever, whatnot, but or it was this one dude, and he had this video, and I wound up seeing this video like a while back, where this dude was like on like one of these little live streams or whatever, whatnot, and he's talking about how, Jake, like, I ain't beefing with y'all no more. I ain't got this and I ain't got that problem. And he got this gun in his hand. You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, he over there woofing and whatever, whatnot. Then all of a sudden he get a straight face. You hear a car coming down the block. all of a sudden he dropped the phone and you just hear him start letting off on the other car. The other cars start returning fire and he just letting back off. You know, it's just like the Wild Wild West having a shootout, man. All right. Now, after the fact, I guess homeboy wound up getting killed and they dumped his body in the lake or something like that. But nevertheless, in the midst of all of that, you know, homeboy wound up getting popularity and people started liking him or whatever, whatnot. Then you find out that homeboy was like some kind of rapper or upcoming rapper or whatever, whatnot. But nevertheless, before that, you didn't know who he was. And most people knew him for that one incident that where he was out there shooting, you know, shooting up the people that was coming around the block or whatever, whatnot, like in the Wild Wild West type movie, you know. But nevertheless, you know, the dude on the YouTube video was basically saying like, yo, this is the type of person you have to be able to get into this hip-hop game. This is the type of stuff that you have to be doing, man. You have to be willing to throw your life away at any point in time, man. You know, he was using the phrase like, man, you got to be willing to go in there and really air this bitch out, man. Like the dude in the video, he was really, really about that life. You know, he's not just talking all that smack. Oh, man, I let this thing go, man. I air it out, man. I spray everything, man. No, he was really, really about that, man. And when you look at a lot of these new rappers and things like that, they all catching cases. They all actually doing these things that they talking about that they doing, you know, living this here lifestyle. So when you look at that, you know, let's just talk about the music industry. Again, like the dude brought up, like, yo, if you're not really about that life and really ready to throw away your life for, you know, a little bit of views and a little bit of clout or whatever, whatnot, you can't make it in this here rap game, man. You can't come into the rap game rapping positive or whatever, whatnot, or you can't come into the rap game talking all that gangster stuff and then clearly let everybody know, like, no, I'm not a gangster. This is just, I'm acting, you know, I'm just acting. This is just what I say in my music, but I'm really not like this. I'm a family man and I go to church or whatever, whatnot. If you say all of that, you're not going to make it, man. You literally have to be like, no, I'm gangster for real. Then they got this, you know, you got to show forth, you know, that you're really about that life, you know. If not, you're not going to get into the music industry, all right? Just like back beforehand, you know, they had to go on a casting couch, you know. Basically, they had to bend over, whatever, whatnot. But now, and even back then, you know, that was so far, how do you say, corrupted that it got to the point where it was like, yo, you know, it probably started with one person, two people here and there, whatever, whatnot, a couple people here and there. But now it's like, yo, you can't get in the game unless you go on a casting couch. And now with these here rappers, you're not going to get on, you know, for these male rappers, you're not going to get on unless you're talking about doing drugs and killing, being gangster, and actually out there doing these types of things, you know, in the gang or whatever, whatnot, videotaping yourself getting into fights or whatever, whatnot. You can't sell, you can't get signed, you can't become famous. You know, the most famous, most pushed rappers, male rappers, are those rappers that's actually doing things like that. You know, that's catching bodies or whatever, like that dude, Little Baby or the Baby or something like that. One of them baby guys. But nevertheless, you know, homeboy came out, wound up killing the dude in a Walmart or something like that, and wound up having a shootout in his house or whatever, whatnot. They had another rapper, this dude talked about this guy from Texas somewhere. All right, apparently he was like a rapper that was already, and you know, already made it kind of big. You know, had music videos, was on the radio and everything like that. But the Breakfast Club, you know, he wound up saying that the Breakfast Club didn't interview him until, you know, right after he got shot. You know, homeboy wound up getting shot, you know, one night in his car or whatever, whatnot. And immediately after that, they wound up bringing him onto the Breakfast Club to interview him. And they was like, you know, the guy that was on the YouTube video was like, yo, you know, what's kind of funny and crazy is the fact that they didn't bring you up there because of your music, because you already had a hot song. You was already trending. You was already, you know, up there trending with your hot song. But they didn't want to interview you at the Breakfast Club and give you that kind of press and that kind of shine. It wasn't until you got into a shootout, you almost lost your life, you know, somebody tried to kill you, that they brought you onto the Breakfast Club. So showing forth that, you know, just dealing with the music industry itself, like, yo, you have to literally be that kind of corrupted to be inside the rap game, you know. And it's no different for the women. If you're not like these Meg Thee Stallions, I think is her name, not the big chick, even the big girl, I don't know, one of their names is Meg Thee Stallion. But nevertheless, if you're not talking about basically prostitution, you know, getting with these men with the money and getting the bag or whatever, whatnot, and sleeping with men for money, and basically, you know, the acts of what prostitutes do. If you're not in that type of limelight and that type of business and willing to do those types of things and rap and sing about those types of things as a female, you know, and be overly provocative and things like that, you're not going to be able to sell, man. They're not going to allow you to continue on and thrive into this here system. But nevertheless, you know, you basically have to be on a corrupted path and willing to corrupt the minds of other people, man. All right, so going back into the whole thing, let me read it again. Genesis 6 and verse 5. And the Most High saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. So, and that's what it is now. You know, all people think about nowadays is what? Scamming people, getting over on people, whatever, whatnot. You know, that's the new thing. It's like, you know, especially with the internet and people streaming and all these different things, and they seeing how, let's just take these women for example. They seeing, these younger girls are going online and seeing these women that's out here, twerking and shaking that thing in the strip clubs, and how much money is being rained on them or whatever, whatnot, like the whole make it rain movement. But nevertheless, these young girls are seeing how, oh man, she's making it back. She's making $10,000-$20,000 a night over there working in Magic City or whatever, whatnot. That's the way to get on, man. Or let's go be a what you call them shits? I was gonna call them a back page model or back page prostitute, but they got some other shit now, Snapchat, and it's something else. But they got another little website or whatever, whatnot, where these girls are pretty much prostituting. Maybe Instagram, yeah, Instagram models. Them Instagram models and them Snapchat models and whatever, whatnot. The fan pages or whatever, whatnot. I found out about that not too long ago. One of the brothers mentioned that, but there's a website, basically where it's basically prostitution, man. These girls can go online and basically either be stripping or whatever, whatnot. People are start donating to them or whatever, whatnot. But nevertheless, this is the softcore porn and whatever, whatnot. This is the new wave of these women out here making this here money. This is the way that they're gonna wind up thriving. Again, if you're not with this here lifestyle or this here way of living, promoting these types of things, then you're not so-called worthy of being so-called put on, man. You're not worthy to be out here in this here society making money, man. Again, if you're a male, not if you're not out here selling drugs and talking about killing your own people or whatever, whatnot, man, you can't get no record deal, man. And that's the only way you can get inside this here rap game, Just using that as an example of how everything else is so far corrupted, man. You can't come in with talent or whatever, whatnot, and start rapping and get signed or whatever, whatnot, man. You have to go down this here corrupted path. And same way with everything else, man. You can't be a top CEO at none of these corporations, none of these businesses, unless you corrupt it yourself, man, and you willing to do whatever it takes to, basically make money for the company, and no matter what kind of means, by any means necessary, more or less to say, But continuing on, let me jump down. Oh well, let me read this again. Verse 7. It says, and Yahweh said, I will destroy man whom I've created off the face of the earth, both man and beast, and creeping thing in the fowl of the air, for it repented me that I made them. So going into this, this is why the Lord brought the destruction the first time, was because why? I mean, everything was corrupted, totally corrupted. Everything was all so far gone, man. All right. So it was like really no turning back. You pretty much, it's like you got a car, you get a flat tire. All right. No big deal. Fix the flat tire. Your brakes go bad. No big deal. Fix the brakes. Your tail light go out. No big deal. Fix the tail light. Your belt go bad, get a new belt. But now all of a sudden, you got a tail light, a headlight, a brakes, tires are flat, the motor need, spark plugs and so on. You need all these different things, man. It get to a point of like, what, the car only like $500, but it need, $10,000 worth of repairs done to the car. At what point do I sit here and be like, what, let's just go ahead and erase this here car, get rid of this car, and start all the way new and a fresh, man. And that's pretty much, what the Most High was bringing out here, man, because everything was all corrupted at this point in time, man. All right. Verse 11. And the earth was corrupt before the Most High, and the earth was filled with violence. That's where we at now, man. The biggest hits on YouTube and WorldStar. Pretty much you got a whole WorldStar is pretty much a website of straight folly, man. On WorldStar you can you go to worldstar.com or whatever, whatnot. You see all these fights. What I'm saying, twerking. That's the majority of the things that's on WorldStar, man. It's not like, on YouTube. YouTube has that, that little path as well, too. You can go on YouTube and find fights and things like that as well, too. And you possibly can find girls twerking on YouTube or whatever, whatnot. But, the difference between YouTube and WorldStar is, I'm not 100% sure about this. I'm not really on WorldStar like that. But, YouTube has different sections and stuff like that. You can go to how to, and then, you can learn how to build a car, build a house. You can learn how to do a whole lot of things. You can learn how to raise a child, more or less to say how to do this, how to do that. You can learn a lot of different things off of YouTube. You can get a lot of education off of YouTube. So you don't just have to go down those paths of folly on YouTube. But predominantly, the paths on WorldStar is going to be nothing but just straight folly, man. All right, that's where they get the majority of their views. And on YouTube, the majority of the views is coming from what? Wickedness, folly, people fighting and whatever, whatnot, But nevertheless, continuing on. Let me read this again, verse 11 and 12. It says, and the earth was also corrupt before the Most High, and the earth was filled with violence. And the Most High looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, and all flesh had corrupted his ways upon the earth. So that's pretty much where we at right now, man. All right, because why? The earth was given into the hand of the wicked. Let me go ahead and grab that real quick. This is book of Job 9:24. Job 9:24 says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the face of the judges thereof, if not wherein who is he? All right, so this is talking about Esau, Edom. All right, the earth was given into the hand of Esau, Edom. All right, so we're going to go to the book of Malachi, chapter 1 and verse 4. It says, whereas Edom saith we're impoverished, all right, but we will return and build the desolate places, because this was the point in time where basically Esau was living in the caves of the mountains, but then guess what? He was going to come back out, just like also dealing with the Renaissance period, wound up coming back out again, all right? It says, we will return and build the desolate places, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people of whom Yahweh have indignation forever. So these Edomites are basically the border of wickedness, all right? The earth was given into their hand, and they're the border of wickedness. And all that they do, you know what I'm saying, is bring violence, basically violence follow them, man. Death and destruction follows them along with violence, man. All right? But nevertheless, let me see. Is that in Habakkuk that says that? Or I can read this as well, too. But Habakkuk 2 and 5, it says, yea, also because he transgresses by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desires hell, and his death cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. All right, he's a proud man and neither keepeth at home, but wherever he goes, that wickedness follows him. All right, so wherever he step his little red foot, man, he's going to bring death and destruction and wickedness, man. This is the seed that he plants into these other nations. Once he goes over to these other nations, set up his puppet governments, and then guess what? Corruption follows afterwards, all right? So let me go from there to the book of, matter of fact, let me go to Revelation 11. Revelation 11:18, it says the nations, hang on. Well, I'll start at verse 17. Nah, verse 14. Because, hey, this is kind of funny that, let me just read it. This is Revelation 11:14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. All right, so what does this woe mean? All right, when it's talking about this here woe right here, all right, this is talking about basically world war. All right, so they talking about, it says the second woe, all right, is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Now, really, when you look into the World War, the difference in time between World War I, World War II, and World War III, hey, it's coming quickly, man. All right, but nevertheless, this is what it's talking about, and it also says the second woe is past, meaning that's World War II, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. They don't talk about no more world wars, and according to the scriptures, this is all going to wind up ending in the midst of World War III, which is called Armageddon. All right, but nevertheless, and also part of Armageddon is what the Lord's judgment, bringing this here judgment upon the earth to go ahead and cleanse all these things. Verse 15, and the seventh angel sounded, and there was a great voice in heaven saying, the kingdoms of the world are become the kingdoms of our Lord and of his Hamashiach, and he shall reign forever and ever. All right, so this is when Yahushua is basically coming set up the kingdom. And the 4 and 24 elders which sat before the Most High and on their seats fell upon their faces and worshiped the Most High, saying, we give thanks, O Yahweh, power almighty, which was and which art to come, because thou hast taken to thee thy great power and has reigned. All right, verse 18, and this is all going, what I was just reading is going into what, when the Most High sends Yahushua back down here to take the crowns off the heads of these kings, man. All right, when he's about to set up the kingdom of heaven. So it says, verse 18, and the nations were angry. All right, why are the nations angry? Because let me just get it in the scriptures. This is the book of John, chapter 3 and verse 18. and 19. This is John 3 and 19. It says, and this is the condemnation, that light is coming to the world, and men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. Not saying that these these Edomites can wind up getting it or whatever, whatnot, but nevertheless, they don't want to be exposed for their evil deeds, man. The things that they're doing is straight wickedness, man. All right. So nevertheless, these same people, all right, these Edomites that are ruling the earth, all right, they wind up corrupting the whole earth, man. All right. And first and foremost, they don't really like us talking about these things because it exposes them. All right. Let me go back to Revelation 11 and 18. It says, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead that they should be judged, and thou should give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints. All right, which we were reading up a little bit higher, a couple verses up above this. This is the time when the Lord is coming to set up the kingdom of heaven. All right. It says, and that thou should give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroyeth the earth. All right, so who is the Lord about to come back to destroy? Chiefly Esau, Edom. All right, but not before he goes into captivity for 1,000 years, but the majority of them about to actually get wasted. Why? Because these are the destroyers of the earth. The earth was given into the hand of the wicked, and what did he wind up doing with the earth? Destroying the whole earth, man. So far gone that the Most High has to, just like in the book of Genesis chapter 6, man, with Noah and the ark, man, the Lord seen that the thoughts of their minds was evil continuously, man. This is all they want to do is get over, scam somebody, come up on somebody, sleep around with other people. You know what I'm saying? Like these women just want to sleep around with other men or whatever, whatnot, even though they're in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? These men want to just go out here and be drug dealers and thugs and gangbangers and shit like that, man. All right, just for instance, to be an actual good man with a job, a respectable citizen in this here place, not sagging your pants, speaking properly, and doing uplifting things, man, you consider the so-called soft male. You consider the square, a so-called lame, man. Oh, you lame, bro. You ain't got shit going for yourself, man. You don't want to do this. You don't want to do that. What you mean you don't want to go to the party and turn up and go get fucked up and things like that, take a bunch of drugs? And what you mean you don't want to do all of that, man? You lame or whatever, whatnot, man. You can't kick it with us, homie. Or these women looking at that, man. What you mean you don't do X, Y, and Z? What you mean you ain't no drug dealer, man? I only date drug dealers and thugs, man. Niggas with gold grills and tattoos all over their body, man. So you know what I'm saying? That's who they praise in this here society, man. They don't want to look to the men of the Lord as ideal man, man, or how do I put it? The ideal image for men to be in this here society, man. All right, and the same with the women. All right. Had these young women talk about, I'm saving myself for marriage. Everybody will look at her like she crazy. Both men and women will look at her like she crazy. If a woman is actually dressing in modest apparel, you'll have another female come up to her like, oh, girl, why you dressing like that? We females, we can do whatever we want to do. It's your body. Don't let nobody tell you no different. You can do whatever you want to go and do. And really, when you break things down, like I was mentioning the dude that was talking about that rapper video, like when these women are saying these types of things, a lot of it is misery loves company. They telling you this with bad intentions, because they didn't walk down that path and fucked up their life. They want to bring somebody else down on that same level, man. So they know that they've been walking around, been a thought for so long or whatever, whatnot. Now they all devalued. Don't nobody really want them. They lonely. So now they just going around, sleeping with guys and screwing guys over out of spite. You know what I'm saying? And just trying to get back with people because they really mad at the condition of their life, Or they looking at their younger daughters growing up and they getting jealous of them because now their younger daughter is a little bit more attractive than she is, and she's still competing and trying to be in competition with her daughter or whatever, whatnot, Or telling these younger women, girl, go ahead and have you some babies or whatever, whatnot. You'll get this here Section 8, $8 a month on rent. They'll get some food stamps. They'll take care of you. You just sit at the house and be chilling, Go find you another man. They telling them these types of things, but they won't tell them, look, don't be going out here being promiscuous, having sex with all these different people. You know what I'm saying? Save yourself into that, your one husband, marry your one man or whatever, whatnot, to be with him. Be a real woman, serve your husband, be obedient to your husband. They won't tell you no things like that. They're like, girl, you should be the head of the household. You should do this. You should do the blah, blah, blah. Don't let that nigga tell you what to do and what not to do. But then when things start to happen, then, first and foremost, this is why, even me back in the world, I had already peeped this. I'm like, yo, man, I get with an old lady, I get me an old lady or whatever, whatnot, and this is somebody I'm kind of serious about or whatever, whatnot, I want to have this here relationship, this was, especially back in these days, this was like before social media, social media, I guess, was out, but this was like I said, by MySpace and shit like that. But hell, even back then, I kind of seen what the trends was going on with that. You'd be like, you know what, we don't need no Facebook, no MySpace, none of that shit, man, because all this is pretty much like your girlfriend for that gossip, when they see you with you got you a good man or whatever, whatnot, they see y'all going to go do some uplifting things. What do they start doing? It's whispering in your ear about, girl, he ain't no good for you, or he did this, he did that. I seen him talking to this girl or whatever, whatnot, and keep planting these seeds, because why? Ultimately, they want to see you single and miserable like they self, man. All right, just like Jake in general, man. All right, look at, you know, you can look at men or women or however you want to do it. You know, Jake, just look at the men. You know, if one male Jake is doing something or whatever, whatnot, and need a little bit of help, and he trying to put you on as well too. You know, the other Jake male will look at him like, nah, man, because if I do this, you're gonna be up over top of me or whatever, whatnot. I'm gonna have to do whatever I can do to make sure you either on the same playing field as me or you beneath me. I can't allow you to be sitting over here stunting over top of me. Hey, your boy Boosie said this, talking about you know, this is a famous little clip talking about something, you hypnotized with hatred, you know, because now we riding around, you know, and you hear my song on the radio, and your wife or your daughter like my song or whatever, whatnot, so on and so forth. They just can't stand to see me shine. Or we grew up together and we went to school together or whatever, whatnot, and now all of a sudden I'm some rich rapper and doing good for myself or whatever, whatnot, and you still working at the factory, you still working at the Walmart, you still the teacher in school or whatever, whatnot. Now I'm living all good, you know, but now you want to start hating on me because I'm doing well for myself, man. You don't want to congratulate me or nothing like that, to where maybe we can build together, you know. But ultimately, these are the curses that was put upon our people, you know, the evil eye towards your brother. But nevertheless, dealing with these things, man, everything is so far gone, so far corrupted, because why? This is the way Esau programmed everything to be, man. He put it inside of us to sit here and hate one another and fight with one another and despise the things of one another, man. Despise the accomplishments of one another, man. When you start, yeah, look back when we was in school, you know, you have Jake that's speaking a little proper, you know how to speak, that's not talking all ghetto or whatever, whatnot. They're like, oh, you talking like a white boy, you know, that's, or, you know, let's just say you was actually dressed kind of nice because your parents had a little bit of money to afford to get you some nice clothes. Oh, this nigga think he rich or something or whatever, whatnot, you know? So either way, you know what I'm saying? You get a new job, a new car, whatever, whatnot. Or don't you think that new job make you somebody or whatever? Jake is always hating, man. All right, but guess what? That's because everything is so far corrupted, man. Jake is so far blinded they can't just see, you know, and congratulate, you know, their brother, and you know the time that their brothers are actually, how do I say, coming up, man. All right, because everything is so far gone, so far corrupted. All right. Let me just read this last part again. It says, and it should destroy us them, which destroys the earth. You know, and this is what Esau did on all levels, whether it be socially, economically, physically, with like, you know, the pollution and so on and so forth, man, these viruses and certain things like that, like with these STDs, man. That's another thing, man. This is, bruh, like STDs is so far spread, and whatever, STDs been so far spread, but how much more now in a basically a you know, a prostitution like a society, or a debauchery and just free random sex for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Now everybody's sleeping with everybody. They got little dating apps like Tinder and shit like that, where people are finding new dates every single night, sleeping with different people, the most raunchiest ways, unprotected, sleeping with, you know, and they talking about how they have super STDs nowadays, where they're, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, they you know, the cures and things like that is not really helping out, you know, because why? These people are so far, you know, doing all these different things to where all these things are starting to mutate. So now it's kind of hard for you to go back, man. All right, these women out here dating multiple men or whatever, whatnot. Now it's super hard for you to be satisfied with one man. All right, all these things is all destroyed. Why? Because the earth was given into the hand of the wicked, and this is what he wound up doing, man. He wound up destroying everything on the face of the earth, man. All right. This is Isaiah 29 and verse 16. It says, surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say unto him that made it, he hath... It's a lot. It says, surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For he shall work... For shall the work say... For shall the work say of him that made it, he hath made me not? Shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he hath no understanding? All right, so this is basically where we at now, where the turning of things are all upside down, man. This is what Esau wound up doing, man. Look at these children, what they pushing off with the children in transgenderism or whatever, whatnot, man. All right, because what did he wind up telling? What's basically going on in their minds? Oh, the Most High don't know what he was doing when he created me. He put me in the wrong body. You know, he don't know how to design a human being. He completely designed me completely wrong. You know, this is what, you know, a lot of Jake is saying, especially Jake this in this, or, you know, we only really worried about Jake. We don't care about Esau, but this is what Jake is, you know, following after Esau, because Esau is the one pushing this here out there. But nevertheless, that basically, you know, subconsciously they're saying the Most High screwed up. He didn't know what he was doing. I knew the whole time, like, Zion Wade or Zaya Wade or whatever, whatnot, or uh, was it D Wade's kid? One of the basketball players' kids. You know what I'm saying? Nevertheless, they tell me some. Oh, I knew out from Jump Street I was born in the wrong body. Well, who told you that, man? All right, because the Most High don't make no mistakes. How all of a sudden were you put in the wrong body? That's basically what you're saying. Or the Most High don't know how to design me. Let me design me this way. Or with the way these women start looking. Or the Most High didn't give me enough ass. He didn't give me enough tits. He didn't give me enough full lips or this and that, hips or whatever whatnot. So I got to go get this here surgery because why? The Most High did it wrong the first time. All right, so look. This is what these people wind up saying. Look, there's no understanding in the Most High, so we got to sit here and create it the right way, we got to make GMOs because the Most High didn't make it the right way to where we can sit here and, cut an apple off the tree and then the apple wind up surviving and lasting for a whole 2 and 3 years, without decaying or anything like that. The Most High made it wrong, so we got to make these GMOs because he didn't know what was going on, man. All right, well, we got to make these chemtrails because X, Y, and Z, man. We got to corrupt the minds of these people because, them thinking righteousness is actually detrimental to the health of the planet. So we got to program them to do all this here wickedness because them doing things the ancient ways and the righteous ways is actually bad for everybody else, So Esau's the one, because the earth was given into his hand, it has turned everything upside down, man. All right, going around the earth, polluting the waters, you know what I'm saying? All the plastic that's inside the damn ocean, man. All right, all these damn fires is going on everywhere, and because of global warming. Nah, majority of these fires are actually being set by people. Like I believe the one in Paradise, California, was set by a person. The one, or maybe a power outage. I think that one happened with a power outage or something like that. The one in Australia, I believe, was set by a person. All right, so nevertheless, you have all these things going on and spiraling out of control. But why? Because the minds of all these people are all corrupted, man. Everything is all corrupted here, man. All right, because why? Esau has corrupted everybody's mind, and Esau is a corrupt leader to begin with. So how much more the people that's going to follow him? They're going to be just like how he is. All right, so let me read this again. Isaiah 29:16. Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For and going into that, the potter has let me see. The potter has power to make basically a one vessel unto honor and one vessel unto dishonor. So basically, let's say you was a porcelain maker, right? You was in the business of making porcelain. You could take whatever the material is to make porcelain or whatever, however that's made. But let's just say hypothetically you got porcelain dust to make porcelain, right? Just like maybe like glass dust to make glass. But nevertheless, let's just say you got porcelain dust to make porcelain. So you got this here pile of porcelain dust, and now you're about to start creating some porcelain. All right, so then in one sense, you make some porcelain plates and porcelain glasses to eat out of and whatever, whatnot. And with that same lump, you also make a porcelain ass toilet, that, like toilets are made out of porcelain, But nevertheless, can that pile of porcelain dust from the beginning sit there and get mad and be like, yo, why did you make me, how come you made him a plate and a cup, you know what I'm saying? Where people can sit here and honor this plate and this cup. Look how pretty this glass is, or look how pretty this here plate is, or whatever, whatnot. But then you made me the toilet where everybody come and sit on me and basically take a crap on me, man. I'm always smelling bad and everything like that, man. I always get clogged up and everything like that. Why did I have to be the toilet, man? You know what I'm saying? Ultimately, or in a movie, let's just hypothetically say, the person who wrote the Batman movie or whatever, whatnot, create these characters, but then all of a sudden the characters are actually real characters inside this here story or whatever, whatnot, the Joker can't say to the writer, like, how come I'm the bad guy? Why I gotta be insane? Why I gotta have these traits? Why I gotta wear this here suit? Why I gotta have this or why I gotta have that? Or why Batman, Batman asking, well, why my car gotta be this color? Why my partner's name's gotta be this or whatever? What? No, they can't ask none of these things because why? They was created inside the script to play a certain role, man. It's up to the script writer to create all these different things, man. If the script writer created that the bad guy was going to win in the end and want to run off into the sunset and the good guy was going to want to die in, the so-called good guy of the movie, he can't sit there and be like, man, how come I didn't get to ride off into the sunset? All the other good guys did and I didn't. No, you can't ask that because why? You're not the script writer. You're just an actor, or hell, let's just say you got a role in a movie and you was acting or whatever, whatnot. You can't ask how come you had to be the bad guy. Well, you applied for a role or we called you for this here role. That's the role we gave you. You didn't write this movie and then we wrote the movie for you to be doing these types of things or whatever, whatnot. We created your character because why? We're the script writers, all right? You just playing out the role, all right? Let me go back to Isaiah 25, I believe. Isaiah, sorry. Might be Isaiah 24. I'm going to try to breeze through this really quick. Isaiah chapter 24, I'm going to start at verse 1. Behold, Yahweh maketh the earth empty, and maketh it waste, and turneth it upside down, and scattereth abroad the inhabitants thereof. All right, and the reason that the Most High is about to destroy this here earth is just like we read earlier in the book of Genesis chapter 6. You know, I believe that was verse 10, and then you can jump down a couple of verses, you know. Everything is so far gone, so far corrupted. All right, this is why, everything's turned upside down and inside out. This is why the Lord is about to bring this here judgment. All right, it says, behold, the Lord maketh the earth empty, and maketh it waste, and turneth it upside down, and scattereth abroad the inhabitants thereof. All right, and it shall be as with the people, as with the priest, as with the servant, so with his master, as with the maid, so with her mistress, as with the buyer, so with the seller, as with the lender, so with the borrower, and as with the taker of usury, so with the giver of usury to him. So everything is all corrupted, and the Most High is going to have to pretty much wipe the slate clean and create everything, have everything created again, all right, because it's all been tainted, man. All right, the people, their minds, they've all been tainted, the men and the women, the children as well, too. Hey, you ever heard that saying where he's like, yo, you got kids raising kids, or they had to show shorties raising shorties, man? How can, how can you be a good parent and instill things into your child's life when, first of all, you didn't have your parent around to teach you what was right and what was wrong, and now you a child having children, This is why you're starting to see a lot of these women that's on the internet taking naked pictures or very sexually appealing pictures, but then it's their little young boy or their little young daughter taking a picture of them, while they over there got their ass cheeks all out on the bathroom sink or whatever, whatnot, Everything is all so far gone corrupted. So the Lord is about to destroy all these things, all right? Verse 3, the land shall be utterly emptied and utterly spoiled, for Yahweh have spoken this word, right? Just like we read in the book of Genesis chapter 6, because everything was continuously evil. The earth mourneth and fadeth away, all right? And that, going into what? These fires, like in, Australia, what they call so-called climate change or global warming, however they want to put it, Ultimately, it's the earth that's crying out because of all the things that Esau wound up doing, all the plastics in the earth, taking out all the oil out the earth, putting concrete down everywhere on the earth, cutting down a lot of the trees on the earth. All right, all these different things, is affecting the earth. It says the earth mourneth and fadeth away, the world languish and fadeth away. The hardy people of the earth do languish. Even the proud of these people are out here in straits and struggling. These so-called richer people that's better off, economically better off. Even they, living paycheck to paycheck or looking at their finances a little weird, They over there looking like, damn, man, I only got $100 million in the bank, man. I definitely need to get some more, like his Jake got a $200 light bill that's due and only got $2 to his name, That's pretty much how Esau is with, when he has like $100 million in the bank. He's still feeling like he's losing out, man. They still trying to stack up some money because they know that, hey, they ain't got enough and they got to move somewhere and eat a little bit fresher, man. All right. Verse 5 again, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof. And who has the earth under their dominion? Esau, Edom. All right. So this is who is the one, the main destroyer of the earth. It says the earth is defiled under the inhabitants thereof because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, and broken the everlasting covenant. And just one that I could think of that destroyed every damn thing was what? The land Sabbaths. All right. Now, they just, you're supposed to give the land a little bit of rest for the vitamins and the nutrients to get back into the soil. But what does Esau do? He constantly keeps planting on the same damn land over and over and over again, never giving the land any rest. Then he wonders why, there's no vitamins and nutrients inside none of the produce, the fruits and vegetables and things like that. Because why? You depleted it all out of the soil. You're supposed to let the land rest for a while. So now you have to get these supplemental vitamins and nutrients and GMOs or whatever, whatnot. So luck it. Now you got to get all these GMOs or whatever, whatnot, just to supplement for all the things that Esau wanted taken out. All right, because he's just wicked, Verse 6. Therefore the curse hath devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. Going into what? This thermonuclear warfare. All right, thermonuclear destruction of Babylon the Great. The Lord said he was going to make the earth empty. All right, the Lord also told Noah he wasn't going to flood the earth anymore by water. But guess what? He's going to flood the earth now by this here fire. Mainly here in America, it's going to turn to the lake of fire because this is the main place where all this here wickedness is stemming from. All right. Verse 7. And the new wine mourneth in the vine languish, and all the merry-hearted do sigh. The mirth of the tabret cease, and the noise of them that rejoice endeth. The joy of the harp cease. They shall not drink wine with strong drink. Oh, so like they shall not drink wine with a song. So look, strong drink shall be better to them that drink it. Verse 10, the city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up that no man may come in. And that's, the city of confusion is what? Babylon. That's what it means. All right. Babel, going to confuse or confusion, and lawn, basically the land. All right. So the land of confusion, or the city of confusion. All right. It says the city of, uh, the city of confusion is broken down and every house is shut up and no man may come in. And that's what you have a lot of things going on right now. Like you have out there in Skid Row, the homeless population is skyrocketing, man. I know of there's a Walmart kind of close to where I work at, which is on like the higher end side of town for these Edomites, where they all living on golf courses or whatever, whatnot. But even at that Walmart, out in the parking lot, you got a lot of Edomites out there living in their campers, living in their vans, living in their cars, or hell, just living out there on the bench or whatever, whatnot. Got their little signs or whatever, whatnot. But this is what's going on out here in Babylon the Great, man. Everything is coming to a grinding halt, man, especially for these Edomites out here, man. Everything is slowing down for these people out here, all right? Verse 11, there is crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. So instead of all this happy, happy, joy here in America, everything is pretty much all sorrows, man. You go out on the weekends or whatever, whatnot. Everybody put their best face on. But in reality, they trying to figure out, you have some people going to go get an Amscot just to go out on the weekend and go drink or whatever, whatnot at the bar. Seem like they ain't fell off, especially Jake. Jake, you wouldn't even really know that Jake broke, man. Jake know how to finesse certain things to make it even look like he got some money, man. But nevertheless, everything is all corrupted. Everything is all upside down and inside out. Verse 12, the city is left desolation and the gates is smitten with destruction. When thus it shall be in the midst of the land among the people, there shall be as a shaking of the olive tree and the gleaning of grapes, and the vintage is gone. They shall lift up their voice, they shall sing for the majesty of Yahweh, they shall cry aloud from the sea. All right, it says, wherefore glorify ye Yahweh in the fires, even the name of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai of Israel in the isles of the sea. All right, continuing on. Hey, because ultimately when these ICBMs come over here and touch down, man, we're going to be rejoicing at that, man, because ultimately that's going to be cleansing all this here wickedness off the face of the earth. From the uttermost part of the earth we have heard songs, even glory and righteousness, but I said, my leanness, woe unto me, the treacherous dealers have dealt treacherously, yea, the treacherous dealers have dealt very treacherously. Fear the pit and the snare that are upon thee, O inhabitants of the earth. And it shall come to pass that who fleeth from the noise of the fear shall fall into the pit, and he that cometh up of the midst of the pit shall be taken in the snare. For the window on high are open, and the foundations of the earth shake. The earth is utterly broken down. The earth is clean, dissolved, and the earth is moved exceedingly. Why? Because the Lord is coming to bring their judgment to clean this whole earth, man. He has to purge the earth of all this here wickedness, man. All right, verse 21. And it shall come to pass that in that day Yahweh will punish the host of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth, and the kings upon the earth. All right. So basically, who's ruling this here earth? Again, going into Esau, Edom. It is not just one Edomite king. You got a lot of these Edomite kings around the earth. Not only that, you also have puppet governments that's being ran by them. All right. But nevertheless, it says verse 22, and they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit, and shall be shut up in prison, and after many days they shall be visited. Verse 23, the moon shall be confounded, the sun ashamed, when Yahweh of hosts shall reign in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem before his ancient gloriously. All right, but nevertheless, going into a couple of these precepts are brought out, man, showing forth that Esau has got the whole earth upside down and inside out, man, whether it be from so-called global warming or climate change, fires out there in not Alaska, Australia. All right, you have economics that's collapsing around the earth. All right, this I was gonna call it the Wuhan virus, the coronavirus. All right, all these different things, and it's all irreversible. All right, why? Because the Esau Edom, so-called white man, is in power, man. All right, but once the Lord, come back and raise the crowns off his head, man, he not gonna be in rulership no more, and then we gonna all be righteous, man. Everything is gonna be perfectly fine at that point in time, man. All right, but we have to just endure to the end, and we close to the end. So, just keep enduring and pushing to the end, man. And, the Lord willing, the Lord will come deliver us up out of this here place real soon. So, Lord willing, this here lesson was edifying unto the elect. Until next time, I say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone that taught us his truth and that rule well. And citation and much love for you, I can push in his truth and sincerity in the four corners of the earth, and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So next time, I say, stay strong. Shalom.